Are you training 5 days a week, trying different workouts, different diet, different programs, checking different videos, free information here and there, and you're overwhelmed because you can't seem to get rid of the belly fat? Well, let me tell you, this video might be the one that you need. And what we're going to cover today is something very underrated, which is what I'm doing right now: rest and recovery. And what I'm going to show you today is nothing fancy. I'm just basically walking and getting sun, which is the exact same thing that you should be doing. The reason of this video is not to talk about saying that you shouldn't work out, because that's not the thing, but it's to emphasize one important thing, which is people don't see results most of the times because they are overtraining, they are overstressed. And what you need to understand is when you're training a lot without proper recovery, you're spiking your cortisol. And that's what we're going to be talking in this video, which is basically the role of cortisol in your body, testosterone. We're not going to cover today insulin. I just want you to understand cortisol and the testosterone and what happens in your body when you're training 5-6 days a week, and the reason why you probably don't see the results that you want. So if you're over 35 or 40 years old and you're tired of spinning your wheels, I seriously advise you to watch until the end, because if you apply what I'm going to tell you, there is no way you're not going to see results, because you need to understand something. Less is more. It's not just about putting more reps. And I deal a lot with high achievers, CEOs, business owners, entrepreneurs, high-level executives, and they are like all in on everything. They're super driven. They're sleeping maybe 5 hours and a half or 6 hours. Then they're cycling, they're running, they're swimming, they're training 5-6 days a week, brutal classes and all these things, and they're having the exact opposite effect that they need. Understand something: cortisol is a stress hormone that increases the likelihood of you accumulating fat, especially around the belly, what we call the visceral fat, which is the type of fat that is harmful, that is increasing inflammation in your body and increasing the likelihood of you having diabetes, hypertension, stroke, heart disease, and all these things. Now, I'm not saying that cortisol is bad, because it's a cycle. You need cortisol. When you wake up in the morning, you want to expose yourself to a bit of sunlight, so you're going to spike your cortisol, you're going to wake up. But the problem nowadays is that people have cortisol super high all the time. So you wake up, yes, and then you drink a bunch of caffeine, more cortisol, then you drive, then you're in traffic, then you have financial stuff, then you have professional stuff, all these things contributing to stress. And your body doesn't know how to distinguish between a stress from a workout or a stress from your job. Even though you might perceive it differently, it's cortisol, it's stress. So you need to understand this. So that's why if you're a 20-year-old guy, maybe you can train 5 days a week, you can train 6 days, because your stress levels are probably lower. You don't have financial responsibilities, you don't have a family to feed, you don't have other commitments that probably, maybe if you're 40 or 50, maybe you have those commitments. This is stress. That's why a 20-year-old guy can train 5 or 6 days a week and still see results, because they have more time, they have less cortisol, they have more testosterone, so they have the kind of the perfect conditions to go to the gym, more free time, and they will still see results. Now, the problem is that you're probably not 20 anymore. You're 35, you're 40, 45, 50, or even more, and your cortisol levels are high, your testosterone levels are a bit lower, probably because as we age, and I feel that as well myself, testosterone levels tend to decline. So you need to understand the role of hormones in your body and the stage that you are. And the biggest problem with overtraining is that if you're training 5 days a week, you're not giving your body time to recover. And the problem with this is that when you're training, you're increasing your cortisol. Then the next day, you don't have time to recover, you keep increasing your cortisol. Even though mentally you feel good because you're working out, more cortisol, more cortisol, more cortisol. This will lead to you spinning your wheels and not understanding why you can't get rid of the belly fat. So what I'm doing right now is the best protocol that I do for myself. I'm not saying that you need to do this. By all means, like, do whatever you want, but I'm telling what works for me. I'm training now one day heavy, like big compound movements, 45, 50, 55 minutes. I leave it all in the gym, and then the next day I try to walk and get some sun. No impact. So it's not running, because again, if you're running, you're increasing your cortisol, impact on your joints. That's not the effect that you want. So what you want is kind of this waves cycle. So you stimuli, recover, stimuli, recover, stimuli, recover. So yesterday, for example, I had a great workout. Some squats, some deadlifts, some weighted pull-ups, some military presses, like big compound movements. I had great sleep today, and now what I'm doing, I feel great. I could go to the gym, but I don't want, because I understand the role of hormones. So I'm just walking 45 minutes, getting sunlight, vitamin D to help boost testosterone levels. This doesn't impact my cortisol levels. It actually decreases my cortisol levels and gives me the perfect conditions to train tomorrow. So that's my message for today, basically. Very, very simple, just for you to understand the power of recovery and how you should cycle your workouts. So stop training 5 or 6 days a week, super heavy. And by the way, there's no problem if you want to train 5 or 6 days a week. Just don't beat yourself 5 days a week, because I train 5 or 6 days a week. What I'm doing is one day strength training, full body. The other day I walk 45 minutes, for example, zone 2. I go to the treadmill and I walk zone 2, 60 to 70% of my heart rate, so that it doesn't spike my cortisol levels, fat burning zone. Then the day after, Wednesday, for example, I lift weights. Then Thursday I get sun and I walk, no impact, low cortisol, maximize testosterone, get more vitamin D to help me with my adaptation and my hormonal profile as well. Then Friday, I lift weights again. Then Saturday, I might do a zone 2 again. I go to the treadmill 40 minutes and I walk. So I'm not saying for you not to go to the gym. If you love going to the gym, you still can go to the gym. Just understand how you can cycle this, because if you learn how to train smart and recover even smarter, you're going to finally see the results that you want. And the reason of this video is simply for you to understand the power of recovery. And I hope you're still watching, because there is no supplement that will make you burn fat. There is no miracle supplement that will make you lose that cerebral fat, that will boost your testosterone levels. This is less than 5%. Most of them don't work, and if they work, it's like 3 to 5% of the results. So master the basics, understand, train smart, eat smarter, and recover even smarter. Because when you're working out, that's the stimuli. That's not when you're growing. That's not when you're burning fat. That's the stimuli. So minimal effective dose approach. What's the minimum that you can do and that you need to do in order to get the maximum results? Walk, sunlight, low impact activity, focus on your sleep, master your sleep, like drink a chamomile tea at night, get some morning sunlight, use some blue light blocking glasses, like do all these things to maximize your recovery and focus on your sleep, obsess with your sleep, and I guarantee that you're going to start seeing results. Get some sunlight if you can. If you cannot get enough sunlight, just simply take some vitamin D, because I see a lot of people have low vitamin D nowadays. So just take a pill of vitamin D. But again, don't rely on pills. Don't rely solely on supplements. This is in case, because I don't know where you're watching this in the world, this is in case you cannot get enough vitamin D, because I'm lucky enough now to be in Dubai and it's actually quite hot. It's May and it's already, it's 9:30 a.m. but it's already like 41 degrees. So here in 20 minutes I get my daily sunlight. But probably, maybe you're not watching this from Dubai. I don't know where you're watching this from. So anyway, just make sure you have your vitamin D. Ideally, I would recommend 3,000 to 5,000 international units. It will help with your hormonal profile, with your testosterone, your mood, with your sleep. But ideally, you want to do this the natural way, with sunlight, walks. If you love running, still fine. Do it once a week. Just don't overdo it. I hope this was useful. And by the way, guys, if you want to check the description down below, that's exactly what I'm doing with my guys and with myself as well. I have a full-blown blueprint that shows you exactly the workouts that I'm doing, the exact meal plans, the timing, the habits, everything, my sleep optimization guides, my longevity guides, my testosterone boosting guides, my cortisol management guides, literally everything. And I'm helping guys all over the world doing this and totally transform their body. So if this is you and if this somehow interests you and you want a 12-week blueprint that tell you exactly what you should be doing without any guesswork, just check the description down below and just feel free to book a call with me and we can have a chat. Now, I'll see you on the next one. Go walk, go to get some sunlight, hit some weights in a smart way, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's go.